Hello, my little munchkins, crones, and sunflowers. We're back. Well, we're gonna, with no further ado, let's just get into it. Maybe call them sleepy. Let's get into it. This is going to be about the Real Housewives of
New Jersey.
New Jersey. Let's get into it. Go ahead, take them, baby.
Yes. For sure, definitely just thinking about Jersey off topic. They have some good Jersey club music remixes. Chef's kiss. Anyway, back to New Housewives of New Jersey. At the very beginning, Melissa was meeting with her husband Joe, and she was basically recapping what happened at the brunch at Danielle's. And basically the way Melissa's trying to paint it is that Jackie is now friends and cool with Jen and Teresa. And honestly, she thinks that's because they're trying to bond over their mutual hatred for Margaret.
I hope that's not the case.
I don't think it is. Teresa just seems like she wants peace.
It just seemed like it's just so petty.
That's
what I'm saying. All this hatred, this, it just needs to stop.
It does.
It really does. It's going on in other shows, and it's old. It's like it's no fun. I mean, there are people who like the BS. Mm-hmm. There are people who feed off of other people's calamities, who feed off of other people's unhappiness, who feed off of other people going to jail. There are people who love that. But there are a bunch of people out there like myself who don't feed on that. Yeah. I don't find joy in it. And I wish they lighten up and make it more fun.
Yes.
I like to see them fun. Yeah, they can get into their little arguments. But at the point where you're splitting and this team and that no, it's so childish.
It is.
When it gets that ugly, somebody needs to go, because these shows are starting to get these reality shows with Bravo are getting nastier and nastier. And I'm afraid if they don't stop, somebody's gonna get hurt.
Yeah.
They need to stop it. It's too much. Mm-hmm. I know you want live, you want reality, but you want to maintain the integrity. I mean, this is a streaming service, right?
Yes.
But after all, it's enough. Enough. We're going to be looking at Below Deck, so maybe that won't be so wretched.
Yes, that is true. Actually, the episode, I believe the season started tonight, but we'll definitely catch up on that, and maybe we'll even talk about Dubai.
Baby wants to talk about Dubai.
I do. All right. Hey, let's see what's going on in another country. But moving on, speaking of Teresa and Jackie had came to visit Teresa. Jackie's is on this new vibe of, I just want to be surrounded by people with good energy, which I totally get that. And Teresa's really glad to see that Jackie has changed. She's finally standing up for herself, and she's not basically a pushover. Now, here comes some more drama. Rachel had decided to call Margaret and talk about her beef with Teresa. Anyway, Margaret really thinks that Louis is unemployed and is really mooching off of Teresa, and that's why Teresa is projecting how John might be a drug dealer, but he's not.
At the end of the day, if Teresa married that man, that's her husband. Mm-hmm. And if she want him smooching and eating off of him, that's their business. That's between A and B. Yes. So see your way out of it.
Thank you. Now, this was the best part of the episode, when Dolores and Paul had their little lunch. Oh my, oh my. All we have to say is run, don't walk, Dolores, please. Here's the thing. So she has been talking about in the last few episodes that she doesn't want to move forward in moving into a house or even talking about marriage until Paul is divorced. And he has been separated from his wife for about 10 years. So so I'm questioning too why this divorce hasn't came across just yet. And he said last year that he was going to be getting divorced soon, and another year has passed. And she's just like, I feel like I'm back with the husband.
fiance.
Yeah.
I think he was the doctor.
Yeah.
My thing is this, I could take anything Paul said, but Paul said that even if I got a divorce, do you think I'm gonna put a ring on it the next day? I would have been done. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Because she's living with him.
Yes, she is.
They can't go forward with their business and all the things they plan unless unless he's divorced.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, so that means the Lord's, he got an issue with commitment.
Yeah.
I would be very scared about that. However, I'm glad that you did mention it. I'm glad that you did.
Yes, she's
you got your Muncie. You just stood up. I'm glad. And I don't know. I like him, but I don't know.
Yeah, I didn't like a lot of things he was saying because first off, he said that divorce, I'm not sure how true it is, but he said divorce takes 3 years. It's been way more than 3 years, bro, but okay. And then he was saying when Dolores said that she's going to have to rethink the relationship if he doesn't get divorced, he got all mad and he was just like, well, if you're rethinking, then continue on rethinking.
See, with him, no, because that's the kind of man you wouldn't pressure into marrying. Because you pressure him, you're not going to get the best of him. So anytime you have to ask a man, when are we going to get married? He's not ready to marry you.
Yeah.
He's probably not ready to marry anyone. And if he marry you, it's going to have to be on his time, whether it's 3 years or 10 more years. Are you willing to wait? And I'm telling you, I think you need to bail ship on this and let him come running after you because he's not ready. Run. My thing is, run, Dolores. Run.
Yes.
Run. Don't even stop at stop. Run past it. Just keep on going. When you see yield though. But keep running. Don't look back. Because this man, if he wants you, he'll have to come with a divorce in hand.
Mm-hmm. For real.
And putting a ring on it and wanting to marry me the next month.
For real, honestly.
And if you can't have that girl, run.
Just the fact that he's getting upset that you talking about him getting a divorce, like he took it personal, is a
well, it is personal because she's pressuring him to do something he's not ready to do. Now she sees the sign.
She does.
Now it's up to her to accept it or reject it.
That's true.
Now the sign is right there. He already said, even if I divorce my wife, I'm not going to just marry you. What more you need?
That is true. He said it without saying it.
He said it with his whole chest and testicles, okay? I would run, Dolores.
Yeah, honestly, for real.
No, and if you marry him, and if he marry you out of force, he'll never let you live it down, Dolores. You'll never have the best of him. Trust me. Leave.
Yeah.
And if he wants you, he'll come for you, and he'll give you exactly what you want. But if you stay there, Dolores, don't do it.
Yeah.
Take a chance. You can lose him. And if you lose him, he was never yours from the beginning.
That's true.
Save yourself. You're in love with this man. But this man had trepidations about marrying you.
Mm-hmm.
And about getting a divorce.
Yes. Moving on, it was a short snippet. Well, I won't say it was a short snippet, but they didn't show much of the fashion show in New York. However, it went good. Danielle had some of her friends' daughters in the fashion show. It was nice. Baby Crone enjoyed it. It was cute seeing little kids walk down the runway. And some older kids, actually. So other than that, we're going to be moving on from that because they literally did not give us much of that fashion week. Here is something interesting. Margaret had a Clubs for Charity event where basically the girls that were there that she invited, which was basically Melissa, Rachel, and somehow Dolores. I guess Dolores is just on the fence where she's in everybody's business. And then there was one extra friend. They served some of the guys that were golfing some drinks. The guys were having fun doing whatever they were doing, golfing. Margaret had her little fun moment of driving recklessly in a golf cart. However, actually, there really wasn't much to talk about at that event because really they just talked about Teresa because they can't keep Teresa's name out their mouth. That's their clique. Anything you want to say about that? Moving right along, our two Jennifers had lunch together.
I like that.
I did. It was nice to see them hanging out together. And I liked how Melissa said that Jennifer with the curly hair said that she wanted to make amends with Melissa, and she's just
But look how Melissa betrayed her. Wait till she look back on this.
yes. And she's just like, I don't care if Teresa's gonna feel a little bit hurt about this, but for me to move forward, I want to make amends with Melissa, just so that way everybody.
She feel as though that Teresa is going to be a little salty.
Yes.
But Teresa ain't said nothing. This is just in her mind. People are famous to share what they think about somebody else. That could be true about Teresa, but it could not be true too. Without talking to Teresa and putting that out in the atmosphere, that's how things get started.
That is true. Now, this is the second best part of the episode, which is at the very end when Melissa, John, Teresa, and Louie all had a lunch date. Well, it really wasn't much of a lunch date because I don't even think they ate. They didn't even sit long enough to get even comfortable.
Well, I felt as though that couple came there with the monkey on their back.
Yes, Melissa and John were already there. Not Melissa, Rachel and John already came prepared.
Ready. Pow blazing. They was just ready.
They were.
And they just wasn't ready. And I don't like her. She's too feisty. She's too mean over something petty.
Right.
You know?
I feel like this is just stemming from her bond with Melissa, and she's just like, if you're not cool with Melissa, I'm gonna find everything to be mad at you for, so that way I can have a reason to be mad at you, and not just because Melissa's mad at you.
But the thing is, honestly, you don't want to mess with her. Leave Teresa alone.
Yes.
I'm not saying she's a bully or anything. She's being calm. She's a calm lion. But that one turns into a tiger. Girl. Don't poke the bull. Don't poke the bear. Leave that alone. Leave that one alone. Yes. She's strong. Leave that one alone. Mm-hmm. But before we go on, what did you have?
I was just going to continue talking about their lunch date.
Go ahead. Mm-hmm.
Teresa had brought a housewarming gift for her brother. However, we did find out that she just did that because Louie insisted.
Wait, say that again?
That Teresa had brought a housewarming gift for Joe and Melissa because...
When did she give? I don't remember that.
Yeah, it was sitting on the table right behind her.
Behind who?
Right behind Teresa. It was like...
Did she give it to Melissa?
No, she gave it to Rachel. Actually, I'm not even sure if Rachel took the gift. But
Rachel?
Yes. No. Teresa literally brought a housewarming gift for her brother. Even though she's not invited... She brought it. She was like, Rachel, I brought this housewarming gift. If you could give it to Melissa for me.
Who is Rachel? The one she don't like?
Yes.
Why would she do that?
I guess trying to show some amends. You cool with Melissa? I have this gift for her. Could you give it to her for her house?
Did she ever give it to Melissa?
I don't think so. I don't even think she grabbed it when she left. But we found out with Watch What Happens Live that Teresa said that she only got the housewarming gift because Louie insisted on trying to...
That's the right thing to do.
Yeah.
And you think they left the gift?
I think they left it. Because I think Rachel and...
Out of all the people that Teresa could have given it to, why would she give it to Rachel, her nemesis?
I have no idea. Rachel and John were too heated and walked out, so I don't even think they even thought about grabbing that gift.
Oh, it was then.
Yes.
Oh, not at the girls' thing.
No, it was at their little...
You know what, Teresa could mail that.
You know, that's what she should have done.
You could mail that. I would mail it in the mail.
But hey, I guess that was Teresa just trying to... And Louie said,
if you want to do it right, then you mail the gift. And once they give, they can do what they want.
That's true. Now, the last thing is that John basically wasn't going to apologize to Teresa.
And Teresa did apologize.
Yes, but he didn't think he was authentic, so he
people kill me with that. Who makes them the apology police?
Right, I want to make sure I feel it from your soul.
You don't have to feel an apology. The very fact that somebody apologized, you either accept it or reject it. It is not for you. If they said it, they spoke it.
That's true.
They spoke it. So if they spoke it, you could either accept it or reject it. But you can't say that somebody didn't mean it, because she apologized several times. But she just wanted apologies for her husband, and he wouldn't do it, and it got ugly.
Yes, it did.
Ugly.
It really did. It was so unproductive.
But it was so good. But in a sense, to see that Margaret was out doing her thing, she wasn't there at the party. Because I think Margaret started a lot of stuff.
She does.
You know, I don't really care for Margaret at all. I really don't. But I don't know. I really don't know. So let me just go ahead on and do this quick reading that Baby Crone wanted me to do on who?
Rachel and John.
Rachel and John?
Oh, no, sorry. Teresa.
Was it Rachel and John?
No, it was Melissa and Joe.
Because you keep changing.
I get, for some reason, Melissa and Rachel look alike to me. Even though they really don't look alike, I think it's just the long, dark hair.
Melissa and her husband, Joe.
Yes.
Well, Joe is the king.
Okay.
Very king. And I see judgment. I don't know what that means. Judgment. I don't know exactly what that means. But I see the king, and I see judgment. And judgment is about being able to put the past behind you and to move forward, to let it go, to make your peace with things. And I don't think that Joe is ready to do that. And I see that here, this Sphinx is what it is, rised up, is definitely Melissa. So it just seems like Melissa is more powerful than Joe. And I think she keeps a lot of the fuel going.
Okay.
You see, that's Joe, but this is a major arcana. And so I think that, like, if you looked at judgment on another card, it would have the red heart, it would have the trumpet. And this is really about moving on. It's about moving on, making your peace so you can have better in life. Just make your peace. But I see no peace here with them. But the problem is, I see the emperor. So I see that is very strong, very set in their way, very demanding, very controlling. They're not ready. Neither one of them are ready to forgive and forget, Teresa. Forgive and forget. Forgive and forget. They're not ready. They are very gung-ho on what they feel. On their left, it just seems like the whole thing to me with Teresa and Joe and Melissa and what's her husband's name?
Joe.
No. I said Joe. Teresa husband.
Oh, Louis.
He's new, but I see that this whole situation is boring. It's just boring. It's boring, and it needs to be fixed. It's just boring. It's oversaturated.
Yes.
It's too much going on. And to the point that they are not even trying to fix it.
As they should.
As over their head, I definitely see where they're taking time. They're working on themselves. They got projects that they're working on. I'm talking about Joe and Melissa. They're working on projects, Okay. This is about valor and honor. This is about finding who you are. What do you want to give? What do you want to present? And they're working on that. They really are. For their marriage. I definitely see a cup, but the cup is leaving. A love cup. From what I'm gathering from this reading, it just seems that somebody in that relationship, love isn't as strong as it used to be.
Okay.
Because, and I think it's Melissa, because by Melissa, you see the cup is this way.
Mhm.
I'm not saying she doesn't love her husband, but it could be somebody else in her marriage or somebody who she feels strongly with. I'm thinking that, yes, I think that Melissa has a very good life. She's not trying to ruin her life, but I definitely think that she maybe get bored with Joe and maybe seek or look outside. Even though she may joke about it, I think it may be some truth to it. So, because I definitely see here the pentacles, and I definitely see that this is somebody that is meticulous and somebody that is a perfectionist, that like things the way they like it, that do the way they like it done. You know, that's new at it. Not new, but they still learning and growing and making it with business and stuff. That's what I see with her.
Okay.
But I definitely don't see, I just don't see, I think they have a lot of fire in their relationship, a lot of energy, but I definitely see that the love is facing outward, if that makes sense.
Yes.
And I have a question, and my question is, are they still very much intimate? The cards show. The cards are showing. There, I see it again. I just see that they're not ready to break up their marriage. They're merging everything. It just seems like from the outside, they have the perfect marriage. They have acquired much. And so they're just living their lives the way they want with no apologies. But all at the same time, I see Joe is guarded or either Melissa is guarded. I see that Sagittarius fire, but I see that moon Cancer. So I also see here Sagittarius again in balance. So they got a lot of balancing to do, a lot of temperance, a lot is some inward stuff going on in their marriage. With Teresa, with Joe. And what's her name? Melissa. They got some serious issues with themselves. And as long as they start and looking at Teresa and looking at her marriage, I think their marriage is not as fiery as they have it look like it's on TV.
Okay.
I do see that they love each other and that they have family, and I do see this. But I definitely see boredom. I see somebody looking out, looking for other ventures. I don't know because Melissa showed up as the Sphinx in this. So I'm thinking she's probably love her husband, no doubt. But I would not be surprised if she finds interest somewhere else. I think it's too much fire, too much energy, too much going on. And and I see hope. So I don't think it's anything to break up their marriage, but I wonder if there has been some infidelity. Or even if they haven't done it, thoughts of it.
I mean, I could believe it because just last episode when curly hair Jen had a lunch with Melissa, Melissa was just like, "You got a hard on for my husband." And Jen was just like, "No, it's limp over here, sweetie."
Right. So I definitely see that it could be insecurities, jealousy, but I definitely see it wouldn't be surprised if either one of them could have had an outside affair. I'm not saying, it's just too much fire. And Melissa, because of all the stuff that she goes through, I think that it wears on their marriage, it wears on her. She's very much a part of it, but I definitely see a celebration, family, friends. I definitely see they have a good way of camouflaging their problems.
Oh, that's good at least.
They do. But I definitely don't see them getting a divorce. They have too much to break up. Do you have a question?
My question is, does Teresa come in their marriage? Like, do they feel like Teresa
Well, when I see the
Don't know what I
world,
mean.
it just seemed like within themselves, they are complete. They don't need Teresa
Okay.
for the show, but for their marriage, they are complete as a couple. Yeah, it's to have Teresa in their marriage is a burden.
Oh.
Without Teresa, they okay. They are the world. They got it all together. But with Teresa, it's a burden. But they don't want to leave the show. Yeah, and I definitely see that like, see here, you see the cup. There, you see the cup. And again, this is the future. I really think a lot of things with Teresa and what's going on takes a lot of stress. I think Melissa stresses out over these things.
Okay.
You know, and it's nothing that Joe could really do, but Joe takes Melissa's side. It's just a vicious cycle they're on. But I just think that because you got fire, 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 fire. You got so much. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6. And temperance is
Also Sagittarius.
so that's fire.
So 7 fires.
The world is earth. So I just think it's just too much fire, too much energy, too much Teresa, too much. That's not Teresa's fault.
Right.
It's just the dynamics of their marriage.
Yes.
And I think that Joe can be overwhelming.
Okay.
I really do. I really do. You have another question?
No, actually.
No. Let me see if I have one. Is their marriage going to stand till the test of time?
Okay.
Well, what I see here, I see that a lot of contemplation has been going on, a lot of balancing, a lot of thinking, a lot of thoughts, a lot of stuff. And if they're going to make it, they're going to have to get a lot of stuff out their marriage. If they're going to make it, if they want their marriage to seriously stand against the test of time, a lot of stuff is going to have to go, even maybe the show. A lot is going to have to change because I definitely see that what's going on affects their marriage.
All right.
And I see, I could be wrong, and what I see, it affects their marital bed. I'm not saying they're not intimate, but I don't see the thrill like it used to be. But the fire is very much still there because again, when I look at these landing, I see it's a way. When I see the cups, it's a way. When I see the cup here, and when I see even the balancing, even when I see the moon, all of that is in the future. So it's a way. It's like a off thinking. But when I look in their marriage from the on front of Joe and Melissa marriage, it looked like financially they rich as hell. They got it all going out. I see somebody looking out at Calmer Waters, wanting to be a part of it. I see that a lot of things that go on, especially with Teresa and thereabout, is a lot of stress. And I see it's a lot of communication and maybe not landing the communication the way they want. Do I think this marriage is in trouble? No, I don't. But I do think that this marriage had problems. Because they've been around for a long time. But like I said, they camouflage their marriage with the parties and friends and money. They camouflage a lot of things. That's my read.
Yes, I like that.
Well, I hope you enjoyed it. Any questions asked? That's my read.
Telling them to leave any comments. Nope, we covered everything for this episode of Real Housewives of New Jersey.
And that's what I got on the read for Melissa and Joe. I definitely, like I said, no marriage, any marriage could break up. Who can know the future? But I know that I see a lot of fire and it's wild and it's out of control. And I think that, and water is left because here I see a cup leaving. I see a cup, you don't want it. You know, and this is from the heart side. So I'm thinking she doesn't want to have sex with him all the time. I wouldn't be surprised if Melissa is looking elsewhere. And that's probably where she feels insecure from her husband. I don't know. It could just be boredom because I'm seeing boredom in their marriage. I see when it come down to the marriage, they look good.
Yeah, they do look good.
But behind the curtain, I see boredom. And I see a lot of fire, And what kind of fire? Powerful fire, big fire, along with guarded, where people have been wounded and hurt and disappointed. I still see that look of going out, and I see that the burdens that this marriage carries. So yes, I definitely see it, and I definitely see water, but the water is something that they need now to get it back together. And that water is love and cups. Did I make it even more clear?
You did.
So I hope you understand that. I know I did. Not understand it, but I hope that you enjoyed that reading.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I wanted to say. So with that being said, that's all I got. I enjoyed that.
Yes, I did too.
Sunflowers.